Welcome back to Miss Liz IBG. In part 1, we explored why many teens today feel emotionally disconnected from screens to bullying and the silence that hides the pain. But there is more to the story because teens aren't just disconnected, they're also searching. Let's talk about it. So in the drama Adolescence, I still remember a scene that pierced my heart. When the time Jamie looked at the therapist and quietly asked her this question, "Do you like me?" A question that reveals so much more than it seems. Teenagers nowadays aren't just looking for attention. They are also searching for identity. They want to know, am I accepted? Do I matter? Do you see me as someone valuable? And here's the thing. Even if we parents tell them, "Oh, you're so amazing. You're fabulous. You're good enough, son, daughter." The truth is, they might not believe it. Not because they don't love us, but because they need the validation from the outside world too. It's just a part of becoming their own person. It's a process to grow, especially for teenagers in their puberty. And in the drama, there was another powerful moment. A scene when the student, the boy, Adam, and his dad, the police officer, talking to each other. There was that time when the police officer wanted to drive his son back home and ask him, I can give you a ride like that. But Adam said, "I'll just take the bus." There was also a time when Adam said to his dad, "You never call me son in front of the others." Like that. You know what? It's very heartbreaking because obviously we all can sense that the dad really cares about his son, but he didn't know how to show it. He was afraid of embarrassing his son in front of so many people, also afraid of doing it wrong. The truth is, the relationship between teens and parents can get very complex at times. Even love can get lost in translation. And I've been there. Back in 2023, there was a time when my daughter and I felt so far apart. Well, of course, I had my own issues and problems. While at the time my daughter was trying to adapt new life, new school, new culture, new identity in a foreign country, resulting a lot of doubt in herself, a lot of frustrations, a lot of sadness. Well, that time, it ended up with so many tears between both of us, also a lot of misunderstandings. It took so much hard work from both of us to rebuild that bond. And now, of course, we are close again. But it didn't happen overnight. So here's something every parent should remember. Yes, teens can be very confusing. Like sometimes they want us very close, but more time they push us away. Teenagers are complex. They want independence, but actually deep down, they also want attention. They will say, "Leave me alone." But sometimes you can sense that they're telling you, "Please notice me." As parents, we have to learn how to read between the lines, to know when to step in and when to step back. We also cannot use the same parenting style that our own parents used. The world has changed, and so have our children. So don't use the old ways. They won't work. And sometimes, for the teenagers, it's not that they don't want to talk. It's just that they don't know how to. So I've noticed this, especially in teenagers. Many of them don't even know how to express these feelings. And to be honest, either did I when I was a teen. I didn't have the words for sadness, shame, or anger. So I just kept it all in, or I just threw things, or I banged my desk like that. Well, that was, when the time I was a teen, how I deal with my anger issues. Also, another thing is, with so much communications of today's teenagers, doing it only on screens, the fact is they're talking a lot less. Face-to-face conversation, definitely fewer. Long-form sharing now is replaced by emojis, which making them even harder to talk about their feelings, basically because they don't know how to. So there's also one thing I really want to talk about. This thing really breaks my heart as a teacher, is the exam-oriented education system, which affects students' self-worth. Some students who are just not born to be good at learning on papers, it's not like that. They're more practicals in real life. That's the way how they learn things. So schools for some people, some students, like those I just mentioned, is not a place for them to grow, but a place to see their own failure. I've worked with so many students under the system who feel like giving up on their schoolwork, not because they haven't tried, but because they have tried their best already, but they still can't score high on exams. It's just like telling them you're not good enough because of your scores, your grades. But the truth is, some people are just not the kind of learners who can shine on paper, right? So where would they go? Most of them would turn to gaming because that's the way they can feel like they finally have a control on their own life. Or they would go to online forums where they can find people who say similar language, like, you are not alone, I feel you, I'm just like you, I feel the same. That's the place where they can escape to and from the reality, because real life feels like a trap. It sucks. That's how they feel. So, a question for parents, educators, adults. Are we creating a system that nurtures strength, or we actually make a system that crushes spirits? So, what do teenagers really need from us? Teenagers don't just need rules and lectures. They need role models. They need someone to say, I see you, I hear you, and you matter. Well, by saying this, it doesn't mean you just say it and they will feel better. You really have to feel for them. You really have to step yourself in their shoes to understand how they are feeling, what they are facing. You have to let them know they matter, not because of their grades, but because of who they really are. Maybe the biggest lesson from Adolescence, this drama, is this. It's not enough to just love our kids. We have to learn how to love them in a way that they understand. Of course, there is no sample template for parents, teachers to know that, because every kid, every teen is special and unique, right? There's no one method that fits all, yeah? But as a parent or teacher, as long as you don't give up on them, they will start to change. Even though it takes long time and progress. That's how I have seen what I have seen in many of my students, also in my daughter. Alright, I'll stop here. If this video made you reflect, even just a little, you can share it. There's a parent, teacher, or a teen who might need to hear this too. Don't forget to subscribe this channel so you won't miss part 3, where I'll be talking about how to face bullying at school. And if you haven't watched part 1 yet, you can go back and hear the story that started it all. You can also like this video if you find it useful, so that the algo will push this video to more people who might need to hear this. Thank you, and I will see you next time.